Artificial love is not okay with you being you.
Yeah.
Artificial love got something to say about everything that you do. When you do something that's real you that they don't align with, artificial love to call you out, act funny, say you acting funny, say you switching up. They're gonna do everything that they can to get you to go back.
Yeah, they're gonna try to just.
You know what I'm saying? Artificial love doesn't come with elevation. It's a place of where you think you're building patience, but you only procrastinate.
Spray my house with frankincense to start my day again. Today I had to disconnect from my low vibrating friend. Hey, spray my house with frankincense to start my day again. Hey, yeah. Tell me what part of receiving love make you hate a man.
Peace, family. Big energy. You already know the vibes. Shadow Work Sundays, where it used to be where self-love is therapy, and it still is, but we have transitioned to shadow codes to light work. I am King Manifest.
It's the guy at Khalil, man. We back for another episode. We here.
I say, and as you can tell, we have a special guest, a goddess. You know how we are, like I said, about the divine feminine, and today's special guest is a mental health consultant, meditation coach, clinical and health psychologist, and also the founder of Soul Powerful Awareness Collective. I am honored to present Dr. Makita Moore.
Shay.
Thank you. Peace and blessings. I give thanks for this platform that you all have co-created and for bringing me in. And like I was telling Kai, I'm so excited. I'm so excited for whatever is going to come through in this connection. You know, for those who are here, this message is meant for you. For those who are catching it on the replay, this message is meant for you. And that's the beautiful thing about this existence is, you know, we're connected. Things are happening in a beautiful, magical way. So I'm just happy to be a part of it.
I'll say, I'm very big on, you know what I'm saying, those introductions and the way that we present, you know what I'm saying, our guests. Like Drink Champs, they give out their flowers in the aspect for people and what they do in music or for the legacy and the culture. We like to give our flowers to the people that actually are here putting in the work and elevating us and helping us and, you know what I'm saying, being vulnerable to, you know, like Instagram or a live to be able to, you know, make yourself accessible in that way, you know, so definitely appreciate you.
My pleasure.
So let's go ahead and tap in and get into our exercises. You know what I'm saying? I see we are all very anxious. Maybe I'm a little too anxious. So let's ground ourselves right now. You know what I'm saying? I see. Now let's get into the Rainbow Collective exercise. Like I always say, make sure you are reading the affirmations, that you are looking at the colors, looking at the chakras, you know, setting your intention and really being in a flow, being in more of a flow state as you're watching this video. I say.
Is source. So today we're gonna tap in the middle of the palms. So this deals with the pancreas. The pancreas deals with the sacral plexus chakra. And we dealing with creative energy today. So if y'all pay attention to this background, you see it's very, very vibrant, very, very growth affiliated. So we're going to be building the potential for us to create within side of our vessels today. So just place some pressure in the middle of your palm. And then we want to alchemize that pressure right under the ring finger through the heart space, hitting the thymus gland. Making sure you're taking some deep breaths, staying aware that you press in this acupressure point and feeling it inside your body at the same time. And then take this energy all the way up to the fingertips. We're going to go around circular motion to activate, wake up, vibrate the mind's eye, the brain, everything that we're going to be utilizing today in POD class. And we tap on heart space. Activate everything, bring it up to the thymus gland. Tell your body to get to work.
I see. I see. And now I'm going to play the heart chakra singing bowl. So now, obviously, this episode is about meditation. At the beginning of every episode, we like to give the people the opportunity to meditate and do what they feel comfortable, whatever type of breath work. So whatever type of breath work you like to do, you just want to close your eyes and just relax, but just become vulnerable and open your heart space, and become vulnerable to the message in the sense of become vulnerable to yourself, not to us. You know what I'm saying? To be able to receive the light codes and the messages that are going to be coming tonight. I see. So now that we have set the stage, opened our heart space, grounded ourselves, we are sitting with Dr. Makita Moore, live from Africa. The time, there is a time difference. She is actually vibrating at 3 a.m. right now in the 3D realm, so those that know, when it comes to that time. And so to set the tone, we're going to start off with a record. Y'all know how we are about sound vibration and sound frequency. So this song is called Deep in Meditation, inspired by this episode, with King Manifest and Kai Khalil vibrating at 528 hertz. Let's get it.
Hey, still shout a word. Still shout a word. Still shout a word. Sunday. Still shout a word. Open your heart. Still shout a word. Sunday. When I meditate, I go within. Getting grounded, I can feel a crystal grid. You ever smile while you crying tears? That's how you know the healing real. Meditation, the awareness to feel. Realize everything and what it is. When you discover the universe within. Hey, Overwhelmed with pieces, I prepare to release. I was scared of my shadow, but I ain't running from me. Not again. I know the power indeed. Deep in meditation, that's my ancestors. Disconnect from the matrix, I took off the glasses. Now I know what happened, we are in the galactic beings. Meditation, an ancient practice. Meditation, an ancient. Every time you sleep or take a nap, you meditating. You call it a dream, but you traveling places. Can't be scared of aliens when you unlocking your spaceship. It's the breath of life, you meditate daily. Close your eyes, take in the breath of God. Connect to the divine. This so electrifying. Hey, close your eyes, take in the breath of God. Connect to the divine. This so electrifying. I'm deep in meditation. I'm deep in meditation. I'm deep in meditation. I feel so alive. You know the vibes. This how we ride. We live outside time. Get down lows like hard drives. I'm deep in meditation. I'm deep in meditation.
Yeah, what up, gang? I'm deep in meditation. I close my eyes just to see, just to speak, and light language, telepathy, channel downloads, after uploads, when I breathe. Just like that, and now I'm free. Let's take a walk in our mind, let's just breathe. 1, 2, 3, and release. Now connect your roots like a tree. Now we grounded and we opened up our mind to be free. Now we walk up to this door, open it and inside you'll see all the things you couldn't hold. It's been piling and it's piling and you could not see your goal, but you see it now, so take all of your problems by the throat. False promises, no common sense, feeling ominous. Put it all inside this crystal hard drive, we finna process it. Light a source, I humbly ask you to put some God in it. Darkness of the ethers, I ask you to put some raw in it. Now hold this hard drive by your heart and insert the upgrade. I am free to release thoughts, become one with how you release and release through you are. Now you can come back to your body, defeating all of your odds that's against you. What's against you? Nothing is. Can you sense you? Present tense you. We invent who defends you, what defends you. Coexist, all inside you, what's behind you. Take it close.
I say. Oh man. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. That's the first time that a song has ever been played on her, and that me and Kai have done that. I didn't hear Kai's verse. This is my first time hearing his verse. Oh my God, bro, we gotta put this out.
Yeah. Man, like
this is inspired by you in this episode. You know, Makita Moore, what you are doing online, the lives that you are doing every day, the work that you are putting in to help people understand the power, the importance, and how powerful, how intense, and also how easy meditation is.
I see.
I'm happy to have brought whatever I can forward to inspire something like that. That was absolutely cosmic, masterful. Everything was in there. So many levels. That was beautiful.
Gratitude, much gratitude.
Definitely much gratitude. And so for those that just came in and just joined the live, this is Dr. Makita Moore. You know, she's the real deal. I was trying to figure out if I was going to play at the beginning or the end, because normally I play promo at the end. But let's go and rock out. Let me let her tell you a little bit more about her before we get in, so y'all know who y'all talking to in this chat. You know what I'm saying? And let's do QA the whole episode. So throughout the show, drop your questions in the chat, and we'll answer them, you know, accordingly throughout the episode.
The Soul Powerful Collective is a virtual community to support your mental and spiritual health needs. I am Dr. Makita Moore, and I created this collective to meet your needs. I understand that anxiety, depression, trauma is real, and those things have been stopping us from living our lives to the fullest. So this community is created for you to support you in your journey to living your life to the fullest. As a member of the collective, You'll have access to live meditation and mindset classes with myself, access to our private member portal, where you'll have access to digital resources to support your holistic well-being, whether it's healthy eating to support your mental health, types of physical practices to support your spiritual health, or whatever you need. We're going to have that there in that membership portal. And also as a member, you'll have access to our community. And that community is there to provide you support and accountability from like-minded individuals. And lastly, as a member of the collective, you also receive exclusive discounts on our one-on-one membership services as well as our group trainings. I look forward to seeing you and meeting you all, sending you peace and love. I'll see you in the collective.
I say, yeah, that's a vibe. You know, y'all definitely tap in. You know, and I love the professionalism of the promo. Just the whole vibe of it is, yeah, it's lit.
Fire.
I have a phenomenal daughter out here who does all my marketing, all my campaigning. She's just so skilled at being able to craft things together like that.
That's very important nowadays. You know what I mean? So most definitely. So let's get into it. You know, this is podcast, not podcast. So let's go ahead and tap in. So my first question, I'm gonna set the vibes right now. So my first question is, how would you describe meditation in your own words?
Meditation is a practice of going within yourself to connect with yourself. It is whenever you can take yourself into a deep state of resolution of all the external, and you can just relieve the mind of thinking, and you can just observe objectively without judgment. It's often associated with a deep state of relaxation. So obviously when you get out of that busy mind and you allow yourself to settle in, you're going to feel more relaxed. You're going to feel more open. You're going to feel more safe and receptive. So I know I kind of made that long, but I hope y'all got that. But yeah, meditation, whatever it is, because people will sometimes say that, you know, my fitness is my meditation, my music is my meditation, this is meditation. Those are forms of meditation that I would qualify almost as a mindful practice, because you're aware. You might feel like you're in this certain zone. You probably changed your brain chemistry because you're out of that fight or flight state and you're in a zone to where you're feeling creative, you're feeling receptive. And then there's the more classic meditation where you are sitting still. So there's the active mindful practices where we're present in the moment, and then there's meditation where we can sit and we can be still and we observe ourselves in that stillness to see what is to come up.
I like that, you know, observe ourselves. You know, that's very key when it comes to meditation, you know, being able to observe yourself, you know.
Yeah, that kind of goes into one of my questions. Can you explain how to become more in tune with feeling energy in your body during meditation, whether it may be like feeling pain in your body and equating that to a certain trauma, and how to move it through your body to release it, and where to move it to release it the easiest?
Okay, that's a question that has some layers to it. I would say just the practice of meditation alone is going to reconnect you to your body. We're so used to living outside of our bodies with so many distractions that we can't even know what our body needs. And sometimes, or most often, when our body has a need, we are suppressing, oppressing, and distracting from it. So we're throwing our whole intelligence system we have off by not attending to it. So in meditation, the power of the breath is that when you take that deep breath in and you release it out, it kind of gives you a sense of distance from your being to where you're back in that observation state, and you can notice where there might be some aches at, where there might be some pain, where there might be some potential energy blockages, which you might not realize it's an energy block. It might just be, you know, bloating in your stomach, or it might be an ache in your neck. But I can't remember what the
Word to release
is,
it.
but
Oh, my fault. I'm sorry.
No, but thanks for but there, I think it's like over 90% of the physical health conditions that we experience are psychologically based. So a lot of these things that we're saying are chronic health conditions are really trauma that's trapped. It's emotions that have not been processed. All these women walking around with fibroids and having fertility issues, it is trauma. It's being too masculine. It's walking around in fear. All that stuff it's a different vibration, and that vibration is going to get stored in your body. And when you're that pain, that anger, resentment, fear, those are all low vibrational things. And when your body vibration is thrown off and drawn down, you're going to expect dysfunction to happen. So like Kai was asking about, how do we move this energy, right? You move it through the breath. Every time you breathe in and you release out, release whatever you need to release. You have that opportunity. The breath gives you that opportunity to release whatever you need to release. And as you're breathing and releasing, feel the release of that. Feel the clearing of the space within your being. You know, if you want to do yoga as well, or throw some mudras in there, some hand movements or some body movements or some neck, that can also help to transmute that energy. Affirmations are a great way to release an energy. You can say, I let go of my fear. I surrender to happiness. I am in flow of joy. My body is healthy, whole. Visualization is another thing I love to do. I love using visualizations in my meditation, where I'm like, okay, every cell of my body is happy, it's smiling. I've released any low, dense energies that no longer serve me. So there's various methods, but those are just some for moving that energy out of your body.
I love the very grounded and easy to digest way that you gave that, because through the amount of times that I've meditated, it's become more attuned to like a supernatural ability, kind of like when you breathe and move energy through your body, it's through this way, but then you begin to breathe this way, and it's like the breath becomes conscious. And now when you breathe this way, you can feel it breathing through your arm this way, and it's kind of like you're able to control your blood flow. So I notice, like with me, when I'm releasing certain things, I can like just, I don't know, just move energy through. And it made me think about this video that I've seen of this this guy who does a lot of telekinesis and telepathy work, and he went to a doctor to put himself on a heart monitor to practice slowing his heart rate and speeding it up. And he was conscious of putting his heart rate in tachycardia and bradycardia and not being able to die at the same time. So it's just very interesting the amount of awareness and control meditation brings to your avatar just by practicing it on a day-to-day basis.
Which is why most people run from it, because it exposes things about you that you like, hold on, wait, that's a demon, like me and Kai talked about. It's like, no, that's you. That's a part of you that you're running from. That's, like you said, that's the reason why you can't have that child. That's the reason why you always project and you walk around as this extra tough guy. You know, all of these certain type of things, you know, and I would say neuromelanated people, I really don't want to call us black anymore, especially understanding what black is, and that it's really the opposite. You know, black really means pale. So that's kind of like a cold trick. But, you know, us as neuromelanated people, we run from meditation. Like I just watched White Man Can't Jump. The new they redid it. And so in the movie, the guy that was basically playing, Wesley Snipes, that was playing his role. He this black guy, the white guy's telling him to meditate. He's meditating on the court, and doing breath work on the court in front of everybody. They all looking at him like he's lame. But at one point, the guy started to meditate. He started to channel, to actually become. He saw the sensation, the peace that it brought him. It helped him to channel his abilities more. It put him in more of a grounded space. And so, us as neuromelanated people, we are constantly up here. That's why we always snapping, ready to argue, ready to be full of drama. We don't want to be grounded, because grounded means silence, quiet, reflection. I gotta look at myself. I gotta see. We love to gossip about other people, but meditation is the killer of gossip. Meditation is the killer of reflection and projecting on family members and family drama, and it's literally the answer.
Absolutely. And I get it. That stuff is scary. I get it. But it is the only way to peace is to go through that. That's the only way to peace. Right? And when you can realize that all of you, even the yucky parts, all of you is a part of your whole being. And as a part of that being your whole being, it is fine. It is acceptable. It is a reflection of you. You can't just be light. You have to have darkness. So when you go into your meditation and that darkness begins to arise, this is where we take that breath, because again, you have to realize it is you, and you can't continue as long as you continue to deny aspects of yourself. One, you will never know God. You will never know Source. And that means you will never know your power.
Man, I just want to add, like, just even to ground our vibration, like, we have to understand that in reality, in all forms of dimensions in reality, everything is always vibrating. So meditation is literally the key. You dig what I'm saying? Even on a cellular level, when a baby gets born in stages of in the embryo development, you have the fertilization, then it vibrates and changes to a zygote, vibrates again and changes to a morula, then a blastocyst, so on and so forth. Then you have a human being, and then we're just vibrating some more into existence. So meditation, the way that I like to really look at it is, when I break down the word, medi meaning middle, and then tate being cheerful, and then meditation is a way that you can become the medium between two different realms. So literally, if you're vibrating here and vibrating here, if you have high vibrational energy here, low vibrational energy here, light here, darkness here, you need to be the medium to be able to fluctuate between both. So understand this, meditation is helping you to understand the process of life and death in the now state.
And I want to say this: meditation can help you or hurt you. What do I mean by that? If you are, because it takes you to different places, so that's what we're using meditation as, something that you can, like you said, move between different dimensions, because that's literally what you're doing. When you're listening to a certain type of music that is vibrating on a certain type of frequency, now you are meditating in depth. You see what I'm saying? Or if you're eating a certain type of food and it's triggering these certain parts of your body, and these certain things are happening, and this whatever this went through certain type of trauma, and you're eating this pain and this fear and this torture, then now you're vibrating in that. You see what I'm saying? And so the key of what she's talking about when we will say classic meditation is having the control, taking your power back in the meditation, having intention in the meditation. Because no matter what, something's controlling your reality. Something has you shifting between dimensions, higher or lower, and going to different places. And you see what I'm saying? So, and that something is you.
And then you take it to the more skilled form or skill set form of meditation, and that's more tedious. That actually takes more of your control. I find at times where I'm just working on even a painting or a drawing, and if I'm doing real good, get a blending and everything, then wrong. I gotta control myself not to flash out sometimes, because like, man, like, why did I just tweak like that? So even in times where people pushing weights, they might go too hard. You know what I'm saying? So just being able to again mediate between both of those energies and understand when you are in a deaf energy, this is what meditation is for, is to help you to understand how to fluctuate and maneuver through that energy while you're in it, as opposed to light energy. It's the same thing.
The name of this episode is Breath of Life. So when we were talking about, when she spoke about the trauma, the this and that, you're breathing life into these dead parts of you, family.
Hey.
Literally.
And I created an acronym for life. One of my songs I haven't dropped yet, but it's living in flow eternally.
Come on now.
You know what I'm saying? Breathing life in flow internally inside of you consistently.
Absolutely. And one of the most powerful things that meditation gives to you is that power of awareness. For most of us, we were walking around so unaware, we don't even realize who's even controlling our thoughts. And we're sitting here for hours ruminating on something that we don't want, worrying and regretting the past, making decisions just because someone else told us to, but not even taking time to think, right? We're most of us are operating out of such a lack of awareness. But when you have awareness, now you are the conscious controller in your game. You're no longer letting someone else run the show for you. So if you say you want to be a millionaire, okay, you have to put in that work. But also, if all your beliefs are focused on lack and you can't help but always get triggered every time you spend money, then it's going to be hard for you to create that life of financial abundance if that's what you want. So in meditation, you have that awareness. You have that awareness to notice, oh, I'm triggered right now. Well, instead of me reacting at this person, let me examine what is the real origin of this trigger. Okay, am I actually safe in this moment? Okay, what would be the best way to respond? And when you do that, you save yourself so much time and energy and mishaps. It helps you to master this life, no matter what you do, whether you're an athlete, a music producer, a mother, a teacher. If you meditate, it allows you to master your mind. And when you can master your mind and control your awareness, your life becomes your life again. And you get to be the one to control what happens.
So I got a earring piece from Source, download from Source coming in, a question. So you're talking about awareness, right? So the dualistic nature of awareness to me would be sensory overload. So how can sensory overload be somewhat of a benefit to you and then somewhat of a detrimental factor to you, because we're so aware, becoming more, our consciousness is expanding more. So even in a day-to-day life, we're paying attention to the normal things, but now we're seeing even energetic things. So when you're not meditating, it can kind of be a lot when you're not allowing that channel to be clear. So can you talk about the benefits and the pros and cons of sensory overload as opposed to awareness?
So our beings are picking up on everything. It's just that we're not aware of all the things that we're picking up. Like, even though I'm looking here, my being senses everything that's behind me and all around, right? But my conscious mind isn't trying to process all that stuff, because none of that stuff really matters. But the value in being able to pick up everything that is in our sensory awareness is that when it is proper time, connections can be made, and that feeds innovation and creativity. I will say one of the things I've noticed about living in America versus living in Africa, because of all the fast-paced life, all the chaos, all the trauma, all these problems happening, we are very adaptive and creative. We can come here, we can easily solve problems because we experience so much chaos that although it was chaotic, it forced us to be very creative and very problem solution oriented. Now, what you need the meditation for is to be able to turn that down and to be able to utilize all that stuff you've taken in the right time, in the right environment, and let it trickle up to the surface, right? One of the challenges for people who have like autism, who are on the spectrum, is that it's hard for them to filter out so much stuff coming into their awareness. Similar to somebody who has anxiety, there's so much stuff coming in that has you hyperstimulated. But when you can meditate and breathe, it helps you to rise above all those things that are coming in, so that way you can utilize and decide what you want to look at, what you want to utilize. Another thing when it comes to senses and meditation is that meditation does heighten your senses, right? Because when you are more in tune with your body being, whether it's intuition, they call it, it's like the sixth sense, or your sight, your hearing, your taste. When you are present, your senses are heightened. Most often we're like somewhat living in this world and sensing, but we're also thinking and judging and figuring out. So we're not fully having the full sensual experience that we could have most times. Hope that answers my question.
That was a
Yeah, of course.
well put answer. You know, we are here for the long answers over here, because the thing is that, you know, it's about the details. You know what I'm saying? It's about the process. You know what I'm saying? Like we can't rush healing, so how we gonna rush the answer? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I love that you are very intentional, and when we channel, that's how the channel comes. It comes in a flow like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I appreciate you for being open, you know what I'm saying, and vulnerable, to
Definitely.
answer that question from source.
Yeah. And
No, for sure.
that's a beautiful point you made, is that when you get yourself into that meditative open state, you're moving yourself out of fear, out of survival, and you're moving yourself to a present open state. That is when that's when you can allow that source to speak through you. That's when the highest levels of intelligence, knowledge that you haven't even been exposed to in the material world, will come to you when you are that open channel. And the only way to become an open channel is when you can tone down that conditioned mind, that fear mind, and open yourself up to source.
I say. So let's tap in a little bit with we spoke about a few things on the phone, and so I kind of I was going to ask the questions, but I wrote down your answers too, and I was like, these are really good answers already. So we can expand on the answers that you already have. It was just so. And so I asked you, what inspires you to meditate? And you said receiving peace from meditation, revealing purpose, and being a service to others. It really stood out to me, because it was a example of how we actually operate as neuromelanated beings, as it being energy. So you said receiving peace from the meditation, right? And revealing your purpose. So then in receiving peace and in revealing your purpose, you actually started to find out how you could be a service to others. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, so I'm just opening it up with that. You know, you can elaborate on that, but I thought that was very well put and very powerful.
Mhm. Absolutely, because again, when you put yourself in a meditative state, that's a very vulnerable state to be in, right? You're just here existing. If you're, in the middle of the street, you're not going to drop down in meditation. No, you can get hit. So when you put yourself in a meditative state, it's signaling that I'm in a safe space. And when you can create that baseline of safety, now things can build up. That's why we have the root chakra at the base. And above that, it's the sacral chakra, it's creativity, right? Then our solar plexus and upward expression and throat chakra. So when you have that basic sense of safety, then you can begin to build. So people are always have asked me, how do I discover my purpose? Like, how do I know what I'm here for? And I say, just start with meditation. Start with meditation so you can relearn what safety feels like, what it means to be safe in the moment in your body, what it feels like to be safe seeing and experiencing all of yourself. And through that, now you no longer have these filters of fear and lack. Now you can see what is truly meant for you, and that purpose will come to you. Because if that purpose were to come to you, that big purpose that you're here to serve were to come to you, and your fear mind, you wouldn't believe it. You wouldn't do it, and you would probably suffer more, because you see what you could be, but you know you're not going to allow yourself to become that. But as we heal ourselves, as we become more safe in our being through meditation, as we unlock and begin to sense what peace is like, and we begin to rehearse that feeling of peace throughout our daily lives, our purpose gets revealed to us. When we understand our purpose, it's all about serving the world, and just by living as your true authentic self, that is your purpose enough, because that's going to inspire you to create something, right? When we're living in purpose, we naturally create, and people naturally benefit off of that.
I see. I'm real big on the passions, on connecting with our passions. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've learned from my own experience that some of the darkest moments actually lead you to your passion. So let's not run from our shadows. Let's not run from these certain places, because there's a lot to discover. It's untapped territory. When you close your eyes, what are you in? You're in pure darkness.
You want to know what's deep? It was deep about that, bro. Is all of this is just making space, right? And when you go within a meditation, go into the darkness, it feels like it's so much pressure because that subconscious trigger of the fear of the unknown. But when you start going through it and actually realizing that you've encountered these energies already and you've just been harboring them, and through life to life, day-to-day experiences, you've been gaining more courage to actually tackle these things. Once you get to the final boss, now it's really just what I like to say, probably like 4 or 5 months ago, the first time I really felt like I remember how it feels to swim through darkness or swim through the ethers. I was literally like swimming. So like you become fluid with this energy, and then that space that you needed to make, it was never space to begin with. The space was always there. You just had to get to the other side. So that like it's kind of deep. Like you just running from you. You know what I'm saying? In all actuality, in every single aspect, when you experience and encounter something. So like definitely when you don't have that level of space being made and your consciousness is not expanded enough, when you go into these dark places, it becomes, too much, because you're at your tolerance level. Go ahead.
Right. So say some people are, it's a military unit or squad, and they're trying to infiltrate a certain building. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, I'll use a bank robbery. That's like totally different word, but it's more easy to make it, to ground it. So say these people are planning a bank robbery. So they send one person into the bank, right? And then they scope it out. And then they come back and they go back. They got this one spot that they meet up at. You know what I'm saying? That nobody knows about. Then they send the next person. They doing everything they doing. They got these different parts of the plan to actually do this bank robbery one day, right? But to do this and to make this happen, they all have to go back to this place and keep on going out and coming back in, going out and coming back in. That is meditation. If we're just out here just freestyling it, you see what I'm saying? Then somebody gonna get shot. You're gonna go to jail. And you ain't gonna get the money. You know what I'm saying? In the metaphor of the bank robbery, we are moving not in alignment, but we are moving very impulsive and very out of whack. We make decisions. We say, I don't know why I did that, because we're just moving and just reacting. Versus if we go back to this undisclosed location and continue to talk about the plan, work on the plan. Meditation helps you to see the plan, see who's working with you, who really gonna be there when it go down, who gonna do what. Get your team together, the team of you, the different aspects of you. That, because what you gotta know is that there's some part of you always popping up at all times. So are you gonna control how this energy is flowing through you, or are you gonna let this energy control you? But you gotta go back to the base. You see what I'm saying? And so if we look at it as like I said, as layman's terms, the base is meditation, family. You can't go out. They say, as you's a family or a household, we all leave our household and talk to different people, got different friends, different careers. But at the end of the day, when we come back home, we live a certain way. That energy get grounded. We eat together, we watch TV together, create a relationship with yourself through these meditations. You see what I'm saying? And create systems, you know what I'm saying, to help yourself not to fail, but to actually be successful.
Absolutely. And one of my favorite things about meditation, aside from just the ability to build awareness, right? That going back and forth is building that awareness so you are aware of how you are operating in this world. But it's also the ability to reprogram yourself, to change up the programming. So when you can go within yourself and you can begin to command certain affirmations over you, right? Realizing that it's like our being is like a computer, and it's waiting to be programmed, and it's constantly being programmed by what we're saying, what we're thinking, what we're doing, what we're hearing. So when you can take yourself, and that is deep in the subconscious mind. So when you can calm yourself in meditation and you can begin to affirm what you want over yourself, now you're reprogramming what is already there. And now when you come out of that, now you got other thoughts running in the background versus, man, you're not good enough, or it doesn't look right on you, or, you know, nobody likes you. You can change what things are running in the background in your mind. And I think for people who find it hard to meditate, I would say try it and notice what is running in the background. When everything is quiet, this is why people got so freaked out when the pandemic first happened, was because people had to be still. They got cut off from the distraction. And in that, they had to be with themselves. For those people who didn't have other people around, right? And we saw a lot of people crumble because they could not be with themselves. But you have to. If you want to be what you are, what your potential is, you have to get comfortable being with yourself. And again, that comes back to just being able to see your whole self and know that your darkness is normal. We are all the same thing. We are all extensions and expressions of love, and love has the darkness, it has the light. The light cannot exist without the dark. And I know some of the darkness can be so painful to look at, but know that that darkness has served you in a manner that is valuable if you choose for it to be valuable. You can have darkness just to have it, or you can transmute that darkness into something beautiful, which is what we're supposed to do. That's why it happened to you.
I see. So let's talk about taking your power back in meditation. You know, when is the first time, I guess, that you realized, no, matter of fact, let's reword this. When is the first time that you felt, when is the first time you felt you taking your energy back through meditation, when you felt the release, or you felt the weight off, or, you know?
Oh, I started meditating so long ago. So I'll give two examples. One was when I realized that I could drop down into a calm state no matter where I was. And I can go into a deep state of peace and relaxation no matter where I was. And this was after, practicing meditation on the regular. It showed me that the perception of the outside world is simply just a perception. And any time I could be in a state of anxiety, but all I have to do is quickly take a breath and I'm in a state of peace. And the gift that the breath brings is simply a breath. And we all have a breath. We all have the ability to just take a deep breath, and it immediately will move you into a different reality. So when I remember I was like riding a bus, and I just took myself into a meditative state. It was in such a deep state, but I was still very conscious. And then another example, when I realized the power of meditation, I was walking with my dogs. For those who know me, they know I love big dogs. I had these 2 pit bulls at one time. And we were walking, and I was with my friend, and the dogs went underneath the fence. Like, we had these cows. It's like a pasture of cows. And whatever happened, the dogs ended up on the other side of the fence. And in that moment, I could have freaked out. I could have panicked because these cows are coming in. My dogs don't really like the cows. I don't want anybody to get bit, you know. And these are two 70-pound and a 60-pound pit bulls. And in that moment, you know, I realized I was observing the situation. It was almost like this out-of-body experience where I was like, okay, this is happening. All right. Okay, this dog is here. This dog is here. Okay, this one, and we move this one in first. Okay, I'm calming this one. And it blew my mind how I got myself out of that situation. Like, it could have been really bad had I not been able to have that awareness and to take that breath and be like, okay, we can figure this out. There's a way out of this. Because there's
I think that was powerful and a great example to show the tribe. I don't know why this light is. Am I tripping? Oh, the sun is beaming from outside on my face. Wow, through the blinds. This is deep. I don't know what I can do about that. Yeah. So, yeah. What was the last thing you said?
Well, you were saying that it was powerful. You're kind of referencing the example I gave about how in that moment, although it could have been a very chaotic situation.
Oh, how we control our reality. You see what I'm saying? And how you literally, like you said, you have the out of body experience, but you really were tapping into your true power, the true goddess that you are, and actually controlling that situation energetically. Because like Ka said earlier, everything is vibrating. So it's about the vibration that we are projecting onto these things, how they react, especially things like animals and things of that sort. So you actually control that situation. You know what I'm saying? Like the metaphor of Black Panther, you know, tapping into this energy, but you actually controlled that situation. And what's so deep is that you actually wasn't meditating at that moment, but the power of the meditations, that what it did to your energetic body, it put you in a position to be able to tap into something like that at the instant. So that's very powerful.
Yeah, people always, you know, they'll comment on how calm I am or my energy. I worked at a juvenile detention center, and my ability just to handle, you know, the challenges that these teenagers would bring and their traumas, their pain, their reactions. Just because I practice meditation, it kind of gives me this baseline of safety and awareness. You know, your mind is open; it's not so pinned down to fear. You know, it's easy for you to navigate.
Yeah, it makes me think of like a child playing in nature with just something they know they shouldn't be playing with, but they just oddly playing with it and not getting hurt. You know what I'm saying? Or not fear of getting hurt. You know what I'm saying? They may run, Mommy, I got a rat. Like, how you get a rat in your hand? How did he, you know what I'm saying? So like, I just find it very interesting. The more aware, the more mature version of that being showcased in our day-to-day lives, and how we can, like, I've experienced that as well, where things have happened and it's like they really happen in slow motion, and you're literally like the Flash, like like the times that be the trippiest to me, but they happen the most often, is where something falls off the counter and I'm not even looking and my arms just move like you know what I'm saying, like catch it. And it's like those slow motion experiences, it like you have to cling on to that and that joy that you feel and take that into a meditation again. Like, that's something I also want to reiterate. Anytime that you're in a meditation and you're doing something good, you have to cling on to that energy and remember what it feels like and harness it, because each time you go into the next meditation and you get further and further, it allows you to experience more and more about yourself and everything outside of you.
So y'all already know me. Shout out to Shadow Work Sundays mama. She is in the building. She probably been in the building. She just commented. You know what I'm saying? We are a tribe. We are a family. Can't be a family in the tribe without a mama. You know what I'm talking about? So peace and, you know, and love. And I want to read this comment. She said, meditation is a serious intention of the mind whereby we come to search out the truth and settle it effectively upon the heart. Very powerful.
Yeah, you know, yeah. When that mind and heart are in coherence, you are well. You are well. You know, when you realize that you are loved, you are worthy as you are, and all the desires you have in your mind are available to you. You feel that connection to source. You feel okay. You feel at peace. It's a completely different life, and it's one that we all deserve to be living in.
And understand, when we talk about mind and heart, that is masculine and feminine, divine masculine, divine feminine. So that duality, those two, tapping in and balancing both of those energies. As a masculine energy, as a male, you still must balance both of those energies. As a goddess, as a woman, you as a feminine energy, you still must balance both of those energies. And the thing is, they understand how powerful that balance is. That's why they attack sexuality. They attack in the music. They try to make the women aggressive, try to make the men more feminine, in a very unholistic way. And they do certain things, and it's intentional because they understand if you know how to channel and balance both. If a man doesn't have to say I'm an alpha to be a man, if he doesn't have to be aggressive and angry, and all that to be a man, if a woman doesn't have to feel like that she has to, talk her talk and make her point all day to be a woman and stand 10 toes and everything is mine, I don't need no man. These are all psychological tricks that they have put on us to disconnect our mind and our heart.
I would also like to actualize and just ground again on meditation in a physical sense, because we have the things that we eat, you know what I'm saying? Even vegetables, even on a plant-based or vegan level, fruits and vegetables, like certain parts of the plant, they give us for a specific reason because it may have masculine characteristics or feminine characteristics. So we also have to be balanced in what we eat, which is why fruits are the most effective for you, because they are the fruit of the plant and they contain the most holistic energy, being masculine and feminine. The fruit, which has a seed, which will be feminine energy, and it's dualistic all throughout the fruit. We can go in and out of it. How even the seed has masculine and feminine qualities, to where the harder outside shell of the seed is protective, but inside, when you plant it in the ground, it bears fruit and more trees. You know what I'm saying? So we have to understand that it's not just a spiritual thing, it's not just a mental thing, but it's also a physical thing, and bringing those energies into homeostasis by the power of 3, mind, body, and spirit. That's how you can have the most beneficial effects with meditation, is making it a lifestyle and not just a habit.
Exactly, because if you feel like that, then it becomes like going to work. Now your meditations are not as effective because you're like, I gotta meditate. I know I'm spiritual. I know I'm this. I gotta do it. It's what we do. No, it ain't gonna work like that. It has to be. You have to have a passion for getting to know you.
Yeah.
You have to. Yeah. Meditation is a form of self-love, family. How would you know if you're loving your? I'm sorry. What you say? I'm sorry.
I was saying, meditation is a hobby for me. Like, I'm like, oh, y'all want to go out? I think I'm going to go home and meditate. I'm about to go exploring, because there's so much. There's so much there. And it's like, if you're not exploring and discovering yourself, who's going to do it?
This is some deep stuff that Nefer Soul just put in the chat, and we're about to get into this Nefer Soul segment. But I gotta. This is deep that she said this. So she said, like the government cuts down all the female trees so that they don't get natural fruit, and then overwhelmed with pollen and the masculine energy. And what's deep is that where I'm at, it's been, the air quality hasn't been so good. It's been weird. But they're talking about high pollen and this and this and that. But maybe like 3 months ago, I was seeing this like certain tag, like a yellow strip or something on certain trees, and I'm like, what is this? So I ended up doing some research and realized that they were putting. So I was taking them off, putting them on the female trees. So it's deep that they even, she said that,
bro. Like, even when I was younger, just being from where I'm from, bro, literally almost every house that had a tree had a fruit tree, and we could go pick apples and pick pears. Now there's only like 2 that I know of that I can literally still go to. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that's facts. So we also have to help Gaia with that as well. You know what I'm saying? We're just as how she's a supplanter for herself, we are also supplanters for Kai as well.
You know, I see.
This is why, one of the reasons why I transitioned out here to Africa, because the environment reflects what is natural, and it makes it a lot easier to live a natural life. When I look outside my house right now, I can see a papaya tree, I can see a mango tree, I can see a pomegranate tree, I can see a coconut tree, probably some aloe, some peppers. All of this is within walking distance for me, and it's everywhere. It's everywhere, So
Sound like heaven.
It summer every day, palm trees, ocean views, little children and the animals kind of doing their thing. It is, and the truth is, like, you can have heaven wherever you're at.
Right.
But one of the things I was saying on my mind earlier is that certain external environments are going to make it a little bit harder than others, and sometimes, even if it means we have to make certain sacrifices, sometimes it might be a time to just put ourselves in a more supportive environment. It doesn't have to be permanently, but just enough time so that way you can at least see what it's like to come out of the smoke and see what is there when you're out of the smoke. If you want to go back in, now you're going back in with a clearer view, right? And you can see things different. But if you're in the smoke all the time, you can only do so much. You can only arise so much. I know we're powerful, conscious beings, but environment, external things, and physical things, they do have an impact.
I see. So, I know you good.
I'm about to say, I even find that deep as well, because like she said earlier, even being just in the States, we have all this physical, external vexing things going on. And when you're in places like that, you don't. So it's like, it's kind of deep in the sense of, me personally, I've just been becoming more aware of how my external reality has been reflecting back to me things that I'm not being aware of within myself, and how that would shift, being as though you're in a place where there's less of these buildings, lights, people, red lights, and, you know what I'm saying, angry drivers. And like, how are you becoming more aware within a meditative state of how that heaven-like reality is reflecting back to you, even aspects of your shadow?
Absolutely. It's so peaceful here that I'm seeing shadow aspects of myself come out, right? Because I'm no longer in survival mode. So now those other layers of healing that weren't a priority because we were in survival mode back in the States, now I'm seeing those come out. I'm noticing myself when I get agitated at somebody because they got lost. And I'm like, why are you getting agitated? Like, be kind, take a deep breath, be nice. And it's forcing me to work on myself, on aspects of myself that I might not have worked on in America. So it's constantly, and I'm being in an environment where I'm constantly seeing abundance and prosperity in nature, maybe not in always in the people, but in the nature, it reflects that back to me. I see, this external world reflecting back to me.
Yeah, it's kind of like here you get reflected the shadow work, and places like that you get reflected the light work.
And guess what? That is the alchemy of the planet.
You definitely get both. I would say that being here has given me more time to do shadow work.
Yeah.
Because the cost of living, I'm able to not work as many hours as I would be working in the States, which gives me time to do the shadow work, which gives me, more opportunity to observe things I need to change, and doing it in a loving way. I see that the love is there, so I can do that shadow work. And also, there's a lot of light being reflected as well, so it's easy to hop into that vibration too.
I
see. And you be out in nature, so that just being in nature alone is such a powerful tool, to help just access meditation, peace, holiness, just a getaway. It may not be the best day energetically, but just to be able to go, like you said, and walk the beach, or walk, go into to the water, or look at nature in real time, not have to look at a YouTube video. You know what I mean? So No facts, you know what I mean? That's the closest thing that some of us have, you know what I mean, to certain type of beauty. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to nature, even though every aspect of nature is beautiful, but there is like the water, just being in water alone, it just brings a different type of peace. You know what I'm saying? Like, so definitely gratitude. And I would tell all the tribe, we are all reflections of each other. So, straight, raw, and real. Don't be a hater. Just use this energy as the opportunity to say, man, I want to go to Africa. I'm gonna manifest it too, because tap into the energy that she's providing on this live, because she came from here. When we had our phone call, I was like, "Are you from Africa? Are you from?" When she told me she's from the States, that just took it to a whole nother level to me, because what the life is, over here per se, with the system and the food, and like you said, you know both worlds, and obviously you're still learning that world in certain aspects, but it's clear as day to see that it's different. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, very different. And it doesn't have to be Africa. It doesn't have to be Africa, but it's just, in America, we go on these vacations to get away, but then we come back. But why not just go and stay in that place? Like, why not exist and live in a place of peace?
I ain't gonna lie. I think I would always come back to this land just because of how I feel about the land. I don't really rock with America, but I love the land as far as from an ancient perspective. Um, but I agree with you. Just living like, that's why the bag is important. Focused on when people say, you're spiritual, you're not supposed to be financially wealthy, all that bull crap. You know what I'm saying? I want to, travel the world and be able to find the place that I feel. Because I got a few places in mind that I'm not even going to speak online, because I feel like I'm definitely going to live there, like on some low key. They don't know where I'm at, But you know, um, it's so many beautiful places for us, those of that love nature. I look online all the time. Sometimes that's just like my passing time, like my meditation. I just look at beautiful, different places that are just beautiful, and just dream of, being in those places. And what's so deep is that I can channel those same images in my meditation. You see what I'm
That's
saying?
what I wanted to talk about, because I was like, I see, yeah, I could dig that, you know what I'm saying, but I can't dig it at the same time, because when I go places, you know what I'm saying, and then I come back, like when I was younger, I would go to Georgia or something, come back, and I'm like, man, the energy just super low here. But now, just having a more expanded consciousness and being more aware of self, when I go to some other place and it's way different, more beautiful, serene, and then come back here, it allows me to have that same amount of value, gratitude, and love for my hometown, or just the states in general, in the same conjunction with this beautiful place over here, because it just shows me the beauty in a grungy way. You know what I'm saying? And that's still beauty. You like to me. So like it just like
I agree 100%. And because America, it's the drama, it's the fun. You want to be a warrior, be out here. Like, I get it. So but there's a time and season for everything. Right now, it's my season of this. And I'm gonna be back in the States. I'm gonna be doing my thing, helping my people. But for right now, this is my season out here. So you gotta listen to spirit to know what the season is. Yeah, but it's all beautiful. Everything is love. Love is everything. So it's like, it's the darkness and the light.
I think the reality is, though, is that most of us in America don't leave this mug at all.
Yeah.
And so there's not a balance. There's just constant drama, constant chaos, constant this, constant that. It's just constant. When you leave, it's not so constant. It's more water. It's just a flow. It's just, versus like the water doesn't move like a runner. Even though they're both moving consistently, there's a different type of energy that's force. It's a force. When you're running, you're running towards and against the wind, versus water is flowing with itself. You see what I'm saying? And so we do have to, and this is the thing. I've taken vacations and without having to go out I'm in Arizona, so honestly, it's some very beautiful places out here that looks like But like Kai is saying, take advantage of where you're at as well, and find there's I guarantee every city got a nice park, a beautiful park that you can go to. You might got to drive, like you said, we got to make certain sacrifices, you know. But I feel that is important, you know. Even in your home, set your vibe. You know, like a certain meditations, I'll do my crystal grid and I'll set my lights. I'll have a certain light color projecting depending on what chakra I'm working with. You know, I might have some affirmation music playing in the back. Who knows? But set your, you know, bring heaven to you, you know, for your meditations.
That's why you're a mediator, a meditator, man. Literally. Just
Exactly.
the vision, heaven's up here, you the straw, and it's the earth plane. Just start sending stuff down. But make sure you're sending up the shadow aspect as well in the same sense.
If you want to transform your life, it starts by what you bring to mind, you know. And you know, there's all this like about like identity shifting. You want to shift your identity, you know, you have to, there's this future version of yourself, you have to become it now. And that's how you hop to that timeline. You have to feel the confidence now. And when you're in meditation, it's okay, well, let me rehearse. What does confidence feel like? Let me feel that. What does curiosity feel like? Let me feel that. What is prosperity, wealth, and health? What does that feel like? And really rehearse that in your physical being. And your cells will begin to mirror that. And then that'll become your external reality. So the more you can rehearse what you want in meditation, these conscious, aware visualizations, and then bring those visualizations and pairing them with the feeling, which is that extra vibrational currency that we need, then that's what's going to have to make those things happen in your reality.
Yeah. I see. So before we get into the meditation, and I'm going to ask you probably like 2 more questions just about just to kind of give you a heads up. We talked about active breath work, and you talked about like square breathing and the 3-6 breath work. So I just kind of want to, I love to, first of all, give the tribe new gems and different ways to breathe and meditate, but also, you know, learn from myself as well. I know you talked about it, but I would even love to hear you expand on it so I can utilize it, you know, in my own meditations.
Absolutely. So there are various different types of breath exercises you can do in your meditation. One of the ones that I've learned when I was practicing as a therapist is the square breathing method. So you may have heard of it. And basically it's you're going to inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds, exhale for 4 seconds, and then hold for 4 seconds. We're basically creating a square. Now, what this meditation or this breathing technique is good for is that if you have a busy mind, because some people are going to try to meditate and their mind is just going. I can't sit here. I can't be still. It's impossible. So we give you something a little bit more active, right? So if you can sit there and you can inhale, just imagine yourself drawing a square, hold for 4, and then exhale for 4, and then hold for 4. It gives you this a higher level of consciousness where your mind is no longer focused on all the thoughts you're thinking or trying to completely be blank. It's focusing on something that is very simplified, which is just this breathing and drawing the square. And that brings a lot of people a really great level of peace when they've struggled to just kind of sit in their stillness. So you can find those on YouTube, or you can just do it yourself. Like just imagine, you know, yourself drawing the square. You don't have to move your hand. You can just kind of visualize the square being drawn in your mind. So that's the square breathing technique.
I know how me and Kai think, so I probably already kind of know where his mind is going to. So we really love sacred geometry and different aspects of ancient symbols. So thinking about what you just said, I would think that we could channel that same breath work in different forms and different ways, and to create other symbols, not just squares, and tap into the energies of those symbols, you know. And yeah, that's really
I'm about powerful. To say we already do, bro. Like my brother, for example, like he's tapped in, but he could be way more tapped in. You know what I'm saying? He could be way more tapped in. But he tells me every time we talk about meditation, he's like, bro, I do this all the time. I don't know where I got it from, but every time I sit down, I'll go sit in front of a tree. And when I breathe, I just imagine, I see it clear as day in my head, an infinity symbol. And when I breathe my energy through the infinity symbol into the tree and back into myself. So yes, we can indefinitely utilize these symbols. You know what I'm saying? The Merkaba,
well, Dr. Strange,
exactly.
Exactly.
You know? So these same sacred geometrical symbols that you're using to, move your energy through during meditation, your body makes these same symbols on a microcosmic scale and a macrocosmic scale, even down to when you break down a carbon, for example, it's a hexagon. So that's all in sacred geometry, platonic solids, everything. So you just even breathing in those fashions, you're pulling in all different forms of healing, especially when you set the intention of healing when you're utilizing those symbols.
And just to bring a look even to that box, doing that box, that is a grounding meditation.
Yep.
If you understand the symbol, understand what that is,
chakra. It's on the root chakra.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. One of the other methods I do is a 3-6 breath. And this is typically how I start my meditations. And you just inhale through your nose for 3 seconds, and then you exhale out of your mouth for 6 seconds. And what that breath does, it's another just deep grounding technique. And the goal is to put your conscious awareness on the breath versus the thinking mind, right? Okay. And as you're breathing, you're activating your parasympathetic nervous system, which is a signal for you to just relax, because you're safe. So as you do those conscious breaths, breathing in for 3, exhaling for 6, you're taking yourself into this deeper state of relaxation. Those are my 2 that I most commonly use. There are tons of other breath work techniques. If you've ever wanted to actually go to a breath work workshop where you're being instructed to breathe, like in these different, sorry, my nose is a little stuffy, I've been sick, but to breathe, you will actually be able to activate the DMT that is in your lungs, and you will actually experience a psychedelic trip just from breathing in a certain pattern. And there's so many things that we can unlock within our bodies just through the power of breath. I know there's some clinics, I can't remember where it is, but people with really severe scoliosis, they go to this clinic and all they're doing is meditating, and they're using the breath to restructure the body, to rebuild the body, and to heal their scoliosis. So the breath is the powerful thing, and it's one of the free things for us,
Exactly.
Try to take them away at one point too, but we're not gonna let them.
I say. So at this time, we are going to tap into our segment, one of the newest segments to the show. Much gratitude to the goddess Nefer Soul. And so we're about to tap into the cosmiometrics with Nefer Soul. Big energy, and y'all understand that she is ordained and this is her purpose, to do this. So this is not someone that's just on her doing videos. This is what she does for a living. This is who she is, so y'all tap in with her on Instagram and get readings with her, whatever that is that you are looking for, certain insights you feel like you need to outsource. Tap in with Nefer Soul.
Holiness Tribe, it's your goddess Nefer Soul here with the Cosmiometrics for the next 7 days. We just went through a major paradigm shift that is forcing us to be more in a space of unconditional love than fear. So anything that you do out of fear is going to cease to exist. We are seeing major upgrades in our intuition, so you may be more sensitive to other people's energies as well as your environment. We are also seeing upgrades to our gifts. So a lot of y'all are talking about you're seeing more things, you're picking up on more things. So this is a time of pure rest and harmony. because when you're going through such major upgrades, you need to allow your body time and space to heal and progress. We are also going through major shifts when it comes to finances and supreme consciousness, so definitely expect to see a lot of changes with the position of power and how we are moving along as a society. So this is a great time to stay off of social media, go more into isolation, be more outside in nature and connected with your spirit team, connected with your deities and your inner self and higher self, so that you can create the best optimal week that you can have with this Jupiter being in Taurus. We have so much luck in our possession right now. Let's utilize it with playfulness, courage, and inspiration. May you travel with pure synchronicity, and let's get back to the Cosmic Schedule program. Otis.
Once again, much gratitude to Nephra Soul.
Ashe.
And so, before we go into the meditation, on the phone, you also spoke about alternative nostril breathing. And you spoke about, it's good for a busy mind and bringing balance to the mind and things of that sort. And so a lot of your meditations I love them because they have been real-time meditations. Obviously a lot of people talk about deep meditations, and even me and Kyle, we can tap in on, we go pretty deep on certain experiences and certain ways that we meditate. But sometimes people are intimidated by meditation. And so I love how you break it down, like Kyle was saying, in such a simplified way. But I wanna kind of tap in on that aspect of obviously the breath is through the nostrils. You know what I'm saying? So what is the importance of, how we breathe through our nostrils?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so breathing through our nostrils gives us more oxygen to the brain. So when you do the alternate nostril breathing technique, where you basically will close one nostril and inhale. As you do that, you'll switch, inhale, and then exhale. What this technique does, it is bringing the left and the right side of your brain into harmony. So it's waking up both sides and bringing them into harmony. And again, it's another one of those active meditation practices that's good for somebody who does have a busy mind, who it is difficult for them to just sit still, give you something to do with your hands. And also, it's good to, you don't realize you have a cold or your nose is stuck, you'll figure it out really quickly. That when you're not.
That reminds me of grade school. We always used to like go around class and do like things that we couldn't do. Like I forget what it was called, but like it's basically what you're talking about. Hemi-syncing the brain. So we would rub our stomachs and pat our heads and do that whole, and it would be very, very challenging. But that's literally another aspect of it, is you hemi-syncing both aspects of your being, that masculine and feminine energy. So I would definitely reiterate to utilize practices like that, to where like eating with your left hand if you're right-handed, things like that. Like me, when I go to the basketball court, I like to play basketball, so I'm right-handed, but I can play ambidextrous. I can shoot left-handed sometimes. So even things like that, just to build up your muscle memory of you being on this side when you're used to being on this side, it just strengthens you. And then in turn, on a spiritual level, just imagine what that energy translates into. On down here is physical energy, but up there it's more creation, it's more abundance, it's more this, it's more that. So, and definitely utilize that. Dropping gems.
I see.
Yeah. I'm glad you brought up the physical part, because meditation actually does change the structure of your brain. For people who are regular meditators, you're going to have more growth in your gray matter of your prefrontal cortex. Mm-hmm. And this is the part of your brain that is good for judgment, decision-making, concentration, like all your higher level mental abilities. So meditation grows that part of your brain, and it actually shrinks down the activity in the amygdala. And that is where that's the fear center of the brain. So a lot of us who you're living in America or anywhere in the world, right? You're having trauma. That part of your brain is a little bit more active. But people who meditate, the activity of that area shrinks down so they're not on edge all the time. And it also improves I believe it's like the hippocampus. So it helps with our learning and
everything.
Yeah, so it's like meditation, it helps to repair your brain. And there are many things that are assaulting our brain, whether it's the chemicals, whether it is the constant dopamine hits from scrolling through social media, whether it is the trauma, whether it is, there's just a number of things that are affecting our brain health. And it's kind of odd how disconnected we are from our brain health, not realizing our brain isn't functioning, we're not really existing. And the fact that there's these higher level mental abilities that are innate to us, but we don't even utilize, like telepathy. We all have the ability to be telepathic, to be psychic, to be clairvoyant. We have access to these higher level of mental abilities. Think about people who are considered savants, right? They can fly over a city one time and then be able to draw every single detail of that. Our brain has so much power, but we're not really utilizing them. So meditation can help to heal the brain, but also help the brain to tap into some of these higher levels.
And that's dope it's dope that you brought up the gray matter too, and dealing with judgment and decision making, and gray being the color in between black and white. So you having to have that clear sense of what gray matter is, or what this brain fluid is, and how to interject your electrical impulses and synapses and everything. You can literally do this in a conscious state. Like it doesn't have to be on automatic all the time. Like with your parasympathetic nervous system, you can literally do these things. And like this is the shadow codes to light work now. So if you've been doing your shadow work and you've been understanding how these things are moving through your body, how you're processing this information that's coming in and coming out, that's been stored away, that you haven't been storing enough of, when you get to this light work, these light codes, it's like you're a kid in the playground, kid in the candy store, literally. Like there's times in meditations where I literally, one of my favorite things in meditation to do is to go in there and play. Like if I ain't got no shadow work, I do a checklist. If I ain't got no emotional trauma, no physical pain, my next thing to do is go in there and play. So I'm making flame swords, I'm shadow boxing myself. I got little 8-year-old version of me over here. We playing Xbox all at the same time. So, and definitely this is what these levels allow you to do. You know what I'm saying? And it allows you to step back away from the physicalness of the matrix, like the VR and things like that, because you already have all of these things built in.
Exactly. It's all based off of you. Everything outside AI, everything that you may hate and that you fear is only based off of you. And truthfully, when we're not doing meditation, when we're not doing shadow work, because meditation is a form of shadow work, when we're not doing that, our actions, they expose us, family. So sometimes people be thinking somebody calling them out, or somebody's trying to be judgmental. As neuromelanated people, like I said, don't judge me. You know what I'm saying? But truthfully, your actions, your vibration, the way you speak, the way you think, the way you move, the way you react when someone does something that would normally piss somebody off, and you can react with clarity. You can react and bring wholeness to the situation and make someone that cussed you out apologize and say, "Man, I'm just having a bad day today." Those are the type of things that happen when we are able to be alchemizers in real time. But if you're not building up your spirit body, if you're not building up these certain aspects of you, like you said, healing your brain and opening and expanding your brain, like the movie Lucy, meditation is helping you unlock more versions of yourself. You see what I'm saying? And as you unlock more versions of yourself, you don't need psychedelics to actually tap in and to go into and travel to these other dimensions, and to, like Kai is saying, create source and connect with himself on a multi-dimensional level and see himself in real time in different ages and different time frames. Whereas me, where I've seen my ancestors and connected to all type of grids in different cities without any of these things, it's because we're doing that constant. The Bible talks about the simple moments, the moments where nothing is happening. Those are the sweetest times, family. We always chasing, like you talk about, this stimulation, but the sweetest moments, people say, I want to be powerful. I want to be a God. I'm this. I want to. family, meditate. It's really simple. Whenever you meditate, see, there's even though we gave a lot of ways to meditate, there's also no right way or wrong way to meditate. It's all about once you get into that process of meditating, yourself will teach yourself how to take you there. You will create a system. It's all about once you connect with your heart space and you just flow, you will become comfortable. But at first, you're meditating to lower your blood pressure. Little small things like that. Start off with, like you said, I used to meditate for 3 minutes. I'll set my timer. I said, I can't do no long meditation. I'm trying to figure this out. I'll do 3 minutes. I set my timer. I'll do it. That 3 minutes go by, felt like 3 seconds. Now, the next time I go, I might do that for a week. Now I'm doing 6 minutes. Gradually take yourself up. But understand as you're doing this, you're unlocking more powers. You're making yourself be. A lot of my family get upset with me, because I don't react the way they want me to. They'll hit me up and they'll be like, man, this female did this, or this nigga did this, or da-da-da-da. And I'll be like, so what did you do? Or, well, it's not really that big of a deal. What you should just do, da-da-da. They want me to react. That's what meditation does. It helps you to where if you are an empath, now people want their energy. You won't project on your wife or your husband or your family member later on because you were dealing with all these energies. Now you know how to alchemize it and how to separate the two. You see what I'm saying? You can be like Kyle. You can say, oh, snap, I'm tripping today. That's my inner child because I was just meditating with him yesterday. You see what I'm saying? It's so many aspects. When I say meditation is like a timeline, a universal timeline of you. And you can tap into any one of them that you want to at any time. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to shut up, but y'all got me lit.
Hey, yeah, bro. Like I said, meditation, medi meaning middle, tate meaning cheerful, ion meaning energy. So what cheerful state of energy do you got your ion? Ion?
Like, come on now.
Literally.
Oh, man. Ions for eons. No,
for sure.
Oh, man. So let's ground this energy. If you got some Palo Santo, you got some frankincense, anything that you have, light that. Grab your favorite crystal. What do you want to meditate with? I would suggest something like malachite. Obviously, rose quartz is always amazing. But we are doing a releasing meditation. We are doing a meditation of we are letting it go. We are letting go of we're making space. We're making room. We're actually, like Ka said, we're really not making room because the room is already there, but we're blocking it. So we removing the blockages. You see what I'm saying with this meditation. So get you some cellulite.
Some cellulite, bro.
You know what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm saying? I'm from down south, man. I'm talking about it like that.
Some cellulite. Oh man. Yeah, man. We live.
Hey, you know what I mean? Get that. You feel me?
Hey, I lost mine, so I'm low key butt hurt, man. I lost my big old cellulite wand. I don't know where it went.
Oh man.
Yeah, man. But we here though. You know what I'm saying?
I'll say
something else needed it.
Yeah, exactly. You have it.
I'll see.
And at this moment, you have the floor.
All right. So, as King Manifest said, this is the intention for this meditation, for this moment, is about release. So go ahead and kind of bring to mind, or kind of pose that question to yourself. What would happen if I release X? Allow me to see what there is to be released. And as we pose these questions to ourselves, we'll ground ourselves in some deep breath. We'll take these breaths together to allow us to descend into a space of ease and peace and calm, where we can open ourselves up, and that allows us to release what we need to release and make space for what desires to come in. So let's go ahead and take that first deep inhale in, breathing in deep through your nose for a count of 3. And then as you release, sighing it out of your mouth. Hear your breath as you release. Just noticing how that first breath was. With each breath, we'll feel a greater sense of peace and relaxation, feeling the external world dissolve. Let's take another deep breath in. Breathe in through your nose. And then as you release, you can affirm, I release. And with that breath, you can let go of anything that's on your mind, any activities, any worries, any thoughts, any busyness. Ground yourself here in this moment. Feeling a greater sense of ease and peace. Feeling a sense of knowing that you are exactly where you're meant to be. Being grateful for arriving here in this moment. Let's take another deep breath in, breathing in nice and deep through our nose. This time as we release, relaxing our face, our shoulders, releasing any of that muscle tightness in the body, letting it all go, letting it dissolve, opening yourself up to a feeling of peace and calm. Just observing yourself in this moment, noticing how good it feels to just be, nothing to do, to simply exist in this moment. Simply existing as you are in your true form. And if ever your mind begins to wander, you get distracted, you can simply use your breath to bring your mind back to your meditation without any judgment or any worry. And just simply bring the mind back. Feeling a sense of ease and peace. And as we prepare ourselves to release whatever we no longer wish to carry forward with us, whether it's fear, maybe it's physical pain, maybe it's resentment or regret, guilt or shame, maybe it's a relationship or a connection with someone that we no longer want. We want to pull our power back. Continuing to breathe, grounding yourself in this moment. With each of your breaths, you connect deeper with yourself, letting the outside world dissolve, letting the physical barriers between you and the outside energies dissolve. And in this moment, just give yourself permission to be open. opening yourself up so that way things can come in and go out. This moment, I want you to begin to visualize yourself in your place of peace. Finding this place of peace, beginning to look around and notice, what do you see in this place of peace? Maybe you see trees, maybe you see a field of grass, or a beautiful white sand beach. Just go there and be there. Just look around and notice, what do you see in your place of peace? Take a deep breath in and let it out, feeling gratitude for this place. Begin to notice, what can you hear in this place of peace? What can you sense through your ears? What sounds do you hear? What vibrations can you perceive? And you begin to feel a sense of joy as you connect to those sounds, as they bring you a greater sense of comfort and peace and ease. Now you begin to connect to what you feel in this place. So as you look around, as you hear the sounds in your place of peace, you begin to notice what you can feel. Maybe you feel the grass beneath you, or the warmth of the sun as it beams down on your body. Maybe you feel the cool breeze of the wind, or the comfort of a soft pillow. Just create that. Connect to that physical feeling. What can you feel? Continue to immerse yourself in this place of peace and just look around, listen, and feel. Now in this moment, in this very present moment, we're reminded that today is the day we get to release, and we get to let go of something. And in the moment that we remember it is time to let go, we feel this sense of relief, already knowing that we are right on time. We are right on time, and as we connect to ourselves and realize we're right on time, begin to hear the running of a water. And as you hear this running water, you notice that there's a stream, a gentle flowing stream that appears next to you. And you can look far and see into the distance where the beginning of the stream started, and then you gaze down at the opposite end and see where it flows off. And in that moment, you recognize that this stream is here for a purpose. This water is here to renew and refresh you, to cleanse you, to bring you energy, to bring you peace. So as you approach the stream, you make your way down to the water, feeling at peace and ease as you listen to the sound of the water as it moves peacefully and gracefully around the rocks. And in that moment, you receive instruction that it's time to release, it's time to let go. And next to you, you see a bag, a brown bag. And in this bag, there's something that you want to let go of, something that you carried with you, and maybe it has served you and helped you in some way, but at this point, it is time for us to let go. So as you gaze down, looking down into your bag, go ahead and reach down in that bag and pull out something that you want to let go of. Holding it in your hand, you examine this memory, this belief, this situation, acknowledging the time spent together, acknowledging its role in your life, and acknowledging your readiness to release. So as we take a deep breath in, breathing in deep through your nose, go ahead and place that thing in the stream. And as you place whatever that thing you want to let go of into the stream, you watch it as it gets carried away with the water. And you release it in joy and gratitude. And you already begin to feel this sense of lightness, a sense of relief, a sense of being on track, a sense of comfort and support, knowing that you've never been alone. And as you watch that thing go over the horizon and out of view, you come back to your bag. And you notice that there's one more thing in there, just for today. There's one more thing for today that we would like to release and let go of and let it flow. Go ahead and reach down into that bag and take that deep breath in. And as we release the breath, we can release and let it flow. Carried away. We can watch. Be at peace. We get to notice the space that's been created. And if there's anything else you want to release, you can do it now, or you can do it later when you're ready. Just be with yourself in this moment, knowing that you have the ability to release and let go of anything that you no longer want to carry with you. And as you let go of these things, you reconnect to the truth of who you are. You lighten your load, and you allow yourself to reconnect to the truth of who you are, for the worry, the pain, the memories. And you feel this great sense of relief, and knowing that there is something powerful within you. There is a version of you that is so free and powerful and healthy and strong and balanced. And that is you, so full of love and peace and calm and power and prosperity. And that is you. And then in every moment of your life, you have the ability to choose love. You can choose joy. You can choose liberation and freedom. And you can always choose to let go of what you no longer want to hold on to. So as we sit there in our place of peace, feeling even deeper and more satisfied in ourselves, trusting the work that has been done, feeling grateful and thankful for our time, we begin to bring ourselves back into ourselves as we move from this space back into our bodies, grateful and thankful for the works that have been done, for the energy release and the creation of space for more good things to come in. Let's take a deep breath in, breathing in nice and deep through our nose, coming back into our bodies as we release, releasing joy and gratitude that peace is available, love is available. Let's take another deep breath in. And as we release, coming even more into our body, bringing some movement to our toes, to our fingers, to our neck. Let's do one more final deep breath in. As we release, bringing our palms together over our forehead, reminding ourselves to think positive thoughts. Because our thoughts create our beliefs, and our beliefs create our reality. Bringing those palms down to our lips, reminding us to speak power and prosperity and love over ourselves, because our words are commandments and those vibrations manifest. And then finally bring our palms down to our hearts, reminding us to keep our heart open, remembering that we are love. Love is all, love is everything. The light within me, the power within me, the love within me sees and honors the light within you. Namaste. Ashe. Sunset. Back. Or you can stay in your meditation, whatever fits your mind. Yes, you're able to release whatever.
I'm very grateful. Very grateful. It was everything it was supposed to be, you know, in the sense of releasing. I think that to have to be, and I'm saying it exactly how I mean it, to have to be on this live right now after this meditation is something. Because I'm ready to tap out. You know, I'm ready to. It was so calming, so peaceful. You know, and you really walked us through, you know, those emotions and that process. You know, and didn't miss a beat, didn't miss a, you know, an area. So I really appreciate you for being intentional and not rushing the process of this.
I see. And just as far as like on my end, man, it was very grounding because my meditations, I used to meditate a lot, you know what I'm saying? Throughout shifts and activations, I've decreased the amount I meditate. And through that decrease, it made me feel like I can't stretch my consciousness to places I've stretched them to before. And this meditation just was very grounding in the aspect of helping me to remember these vital small steps, like King was talking about earlier, and how to get to those places. Because after we got through, it's like I was still guided by your meditation, but I was like in 5 different meditations at the same time. So it was like, yes, you know what I'm saying? We here and yes, man, it was just transformative.
Absolutely. Yeah. You got all the
Yeah, I
power.
actually saw. My fault.
Go ahead.
I said I actually saw. I can't remember what part. I don't know what you were saying. Like Kyle said, it's definitely there's a lot going on. But I actually saw a butterfly fly into light.
I seen a butterfly. I seen one of them things. What is it? What is it called? When, the lizard from Holes.
Oh, the dragon.
Yeah,
dragon.
Yeah, but it was like that, but it was way skinnier, and the ear is like it was like it could fly. It was like one of those flying ones, but it looked like that though. So like kind of like it was giving Kundalini.
Absolutely.
Which we just talked about like 2 days ago or yesterday, So that's confirmation.
Yeah, my goal is to bring more people to the power of meditation. That's why I created the Soul Powerful Wellness Collective, is to walk people through what meditation is, meet with you on a weekly basis. That way you can stay consistent, stay supporting your meditation practice. Whenever I create these meditations, I just want you to know that you can bring your whole self and know that it's okay to bring your whole self and yourself and get the good energy, get the relief, get the love, get whatever you need is for you.
Well, for the tribe that would like to tap in and just want to follow you, and obviously, tap in with your. She's been doing meditations for, about almost 30 days or up to. It's been a lot of meditations. You've been really consistent. So there's a lot of meditations that she has. If you love this one, you can go tap in. But could you give us like all your social media and different ways to find you?
Yes. So you can find me on Instagram at Dr. Makeda. That's DrMakeda, Dr. Makeda. You can also find, and that's where all the meditations are for this month, and links to my website, which is drmakeda.com, which is going to provide you all of my services for the Soul Powerful Wellness Collective. If you want to join that, we'll be launching on June 17th. It's going to be powerful, y'all. We're going to meet weekly to meditate, to talk about mindset and meditation. And then, we'll have an online community as well to support you in your spiritual and mental health growth. You can also find me on YouTube under Soul Powerful. That's SOL Powerful. My computer's out of battery. You can find me on TikTok. That is Dr. Makeda on the Mind. Facebook, Dr. Makeda. So Dr. Makeda, pretty much everywhere. If you just search that, you'll see my picture. My podcast is called the Parallel Paths Podcast. That's also on YouTube. We have a few past seasons where we'll see if we're going to get back into. I think we'll pick it back up again. It's too good to put down. So the Parallel Paths Podcast. And then we also, me and my podcast co-host, we also created a full meditation e-course that you can find on 3layersofwellness.com. It'll eventually be on my website, but right now it's housed on 3layersofwellness.com. And that's a full meditation e-course with live meditations in there, everything you need to learn about how to meditate, what tools to use to enhance it, no matter what level of meditation you're at.
That's what I'm talking about, family. Don't be out here sleeping You know what I'm saying? We got people really out here.
Hey.
You know, a lot of people be complaining, but we got people out here, family. You just gotta find them. You know, like man.
Out here sleeping, bro. Man, it's really tripping me out how it's that late over there, and I'm over here cracking yawns, and she ain't cracked one this whole episode, bro.
I've been tired this whole episode, low key, and I'm over here like, yeah, it's deep. Like she's lit.
Oh, facts.
Even to do that level of a meditation,
you
know.
Yeah, man, it's definitely an amazing light work episode for sure, man.
Exactly. So family, understand.
Of course,
this is not just a right now episode. You know, that meditation. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually get that meditation, the meditation part, and chop that part up, and just to get that exact clip. So, and then post that as well. So people just have the meditation by itself. And I'll send that to you and everything as well. But that meditation part is not just for today. You know, if you feel like you need to release and you need guidance, you know, to do that, come back and listen to that meditation until you actually embody it and alchemize it and figure out how to do it yourself in your own way. You know, these are cheat codes. These are tools. You know, so they're not here for the one-time live, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, this information and the things that we're doing, they're based off of a repetitive cycle. So they become more powerful as we repeat them. You know, so
yeah. Hey, when you said cheat codes, I heard cheat codes.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I like that. Cheat codes. Hey, we might have to just go ahead and
you know what I'm saying?
Keep that in our vocabulary.
For sure, man.
Yeah, so we're gonna tap out. You know, we have a very big episode. Next episode, y'all get ready. It's gonna be different. And we're transitioning. It's going to be a panel. I'm not going to speak on nothing else. Y'all will find out during this week's promo. But get ready for next episode. Like y'all said, we are live every Sunday at 5:55 p.m. PST. Never late, you know, so we tapped in on many different subjects. If you don't know what shadow work is and you don't know how to do shadow work, there's a lot of episodes. So go back on the YouTube page, go back to Instagram. There's a lot of episodes to teach you how to connect with your inner child, how to do shadow work, you know, many different aspects. So this is podcast, not podcast. You're never behind. It's never too late to start to learn. You know, we are at light work now, so y'all get ready to transition. And with that being said, peace, abundance, healing, wholeness. You know what can I say? Tranquility. You know what I'm saying?
Abundance, prosperity, serenity. Angularity, you know what I'm saying? All of that. Yeah, man. See y'all next Sunday.
I say.
Candlelight in the rising and I feel amazing. Preparation for early meditation. No procrastination, only elevation. I'm working with a power that can heal a nation. How you vibrating? How you vibrating? How you vibrating? How you vibrating? Vibes on serious, on vortex like a pyramid. A reflection make the mirror flip. Merkaba is my inner king. Manifest. How you vibrating? Big energy. How you vibrating? I travel to other dimensions with all senses. Manifestation, the power of alchemized intentions. Telepathically speaking, you heard every sentence.